I was born into a large fortune with every guarantee of a distinguished future. And the worst of my faults, and the worst of my faults was impatience. And I stood already committed to a profound duplicity of life. And every day my two identities, the moralist and the scientist, were doomed like a dreadful shipwreck. The Curious Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, written by Robert Louis Stevenson. I found that man is not truly one, but truly two, and if each could be but housed in separate identities, life would be relieved of all that was unbearable. And I hesitated long before I put this theory to the test. I know I risk death. This drug shook the fortress of my identity. This drug could erase my identity. And a temptation of a discovery overcame my suggestion of alarm. And so, late one accursed night, I compound the elements and watched them boil and smoke. And then, with a strong glow of courage, I drank off the potion. The most racking pain succeeded. A grinding of the bones. And a deadly nausea that cannot be exceeded at the hour of birth and death. There was something strange in my sensations, something. Wicked! I stretched out my hands, exulting in the freshness of these sensations. And I ran to the corridors, a stranger in my own home, and then, for the first time ever, I saw my appearance. I saw the ugly idol within the glass, and I was the semblance of Edward Hyde. And he was pure evil. And I once again drank the drought. And I once again suffered the pangs of dissolution. And I once again became the character in the face of Henry Jekyll. That night, I'd come to a fatal crossroads. I now had two identities. One wholly evil, and the other was still the old Henry Jekyll. And this new power tempted me. The pleasures I sought in my disguise were undignified, but in the hands of Edward Hyde, they soon began to turn towards the monstrous. When I would go out for these excursions, Henry Jekyll stood at times aghast at the acts of Hyde, but ordinary law relaxed my conscience. Edward Hyde was the one guilty, and Jekyll was unimpaired. And when he could, if possible, undo the evil done by Hyde, his conscience then slumbered. I was out for one of my adventures. I returned at a late hour and awoke the next day in bed with somewhat odd sensations. Something kept insisting that I was in the body of Hyde. But the hand of Henry Jekyll was professional, shape and size. And the hand which I now stared at was corded, knuckly, thickly haired. Bounding from bed, I rushed to the mirror. My blood turned thin and icy. I had went to bed as Henry Jekyll and awoken as Edward Hyde. How was this to be explained? And more importantly, how was it to be remedied? This incident made me reflect more seriously about the issues of double existence. And I now felt that I had to choose. I chose the better part. And I wanted to find strength to keep to it. Okay, yes, I preferred the elderly and discontented doctor. I fell to my knees, tears streaming down my face. I pledged remorse to God. I could have screamed aloud. And I sought, with tears and prayers, to hide the hideous images that swarmed my memory. And at the last hour of moral weakness, I once again drank the drought. Instantly, the spirit of hell awoke within me in rage, and I had mauled an innocent body and enjoyed the taste of the light for every single blow. And my lust of evil gratified. And with glee, I once again drank the drought. And then there comes an end to all things. I awoke on a cool January day. I sat in the sun on a bench. My clothes hung formlessly on shrunken limbs, and the hand that now laid upon my knee was corded knuckly. But how? In my mind, I was Henry Jekyll, but remained in the body of Hyde. Damn you, Hyde. Damn you, Hyde! I now realize on this occasion it would take a double dose to return me to myself. And further doses to remain Henry Jekyll. Hyde's hatred for Jekyll was of a different order. He loathed in Jekyll's weakness. Hyde's love for life and love for freedom is too strong, and I, Henry Jekyll, do not have the strength to fight. And so, as I finished this statement, I've taken the last of the old powders. This then is the last time, short of a miracle, that Henry Jekyll can think his own thoughts or see his own face within the glass. Will Hyde die upon the scaffold, or he find the courage to release himself at the last moment? God knows, I am careless. This is it. This is my draw of death. What is to follow concerns another than myself. Here, then I bring the life of that unhappy Jekyll to an end. Thank you.